There is a quiet moment every morning that most people barely notice. It happens before the messages arrive, before the noise of the world enters your mind, before the responsibilities of the day begin asking for your attention. It is the moment between sleep and action. In that small space of time, something important happens. You decide how your day will begin. Most people do not make this decision consciously. Their morning begins with urgency. An alarm rings loudly. A hand reaches across the bed to silence it, eyes half open, mind still foggy. A phone screen lights up. Messages, notifications, news headlines, social media updates. Within seconds, the mind is already reacting. Someone else's success. Someone else's opinion. Someone else's problems. Without realizing it, the day begins with comparison, stress, and distraction. And from that moment, everything feels rushed. Breakfast becomes quick, thoughts become scattered. The day feels like a race that started before you were ready. By the time evening arrives, exhaustion replaces intention. Then the same cycle repeats the next day. But there is another way to begin the morning. A way that does not require perfection. A way that does not demand extreme discipline. Just a simple routine that slowly transforms how you feel about your days. And when your days change, your life begins to change. Imagine a man named Arjun. For years, his mornings were chaotic. His alarm rang multiple times. He checked his phone immediately. Sometimes he skipped breakfast. Sometimes he rushed out the door feeling unprepared. Each day felt reactive. One evening, after another stressful day, he sat quietly at his table. He thought about something simple. My mornings decide my mood for the entire day. That idea stayed in his mind. The next morning, he tried something different. Not dramatic, not complicated. Just intentional. Instead of grabbing his phone, he sat up slowly and took a deep breath. He looked out the window. The sky was still soft with early light. Birds moved across the air quietly. For the first time in months, he noticed how calm the world felt before everyone woke up. He stayed there for a moment. Maybe this is what I have been missing, he thought. The truth about morning routines is often misunderstood. Many people imagine strict schedules, intense workouts before sunrise, complex productivity systems. For some people, that works. For most people, it feels overwhelming. A morning routine does not need to be impressive. It needs to be meaningful. The goal is not to wake up earlier just to do more tasks. The goal is to wake up earlier so your mind can begin the day peacefully. Think about the difference between two mornings. In the first morning, you wake up late, rush into the day, skip reflection, and react to everything that appears. In the second morning, you wake up a little earlier, breathe calmly, move your body gently, and give your mind space to think. The second morning creates a different energy. It creates clarity. Clarity is powerful. When your mind is clear, decisions become easier. Distractions lose their power. You begin the day feeling like you are leading your time instead of chasing it. Arjun began experimenting with his mornings slowly. The first habit he added was silence. Just 5 minutes. No phone, no music, no conversation. At first, the silence felt strange. His mind wandered everywhere. What should I do today? I forgot to send that message. Did I finish that task yesterday? But after a few days, the silence began to feel comfortable. His breathing slowed. His thoughts organized themselves naturally. He noticed something interesting. The problems that felt overwhelming the night before often looked smaller in the quiet morning. Morning silence gives your mind a reset. It clears emotional noise. Many people carry stress from yesterday into today without realizing it. A quiet morning allows the mind to start fresh. After a week, Arjun added another small habit. Movement. Not intense exercise. Just simple stretching. He raised his arms slowly, rolled his shoulders, walked outside for a short walk. The cool air woke his senses. The sunlight touched his face gently. As he walked, he realized something. Movement changes your mood. When the body moves, the mind follows. Stress begins to dissolve. Energy begins to rise. Many people believe they need motivation to move their body. The truth is often the opposite. Movement creates motivation. A short walk can shift your entire mental state. Soon, Arjun added a third habit: reflection. He kept a small notebook beside his bed. Every morning he wrote 3 simple thoughts. One thing he felt grateful for. One intention for the day. One reminder to himself. Some mornings the writing was short. Grateful for good health. Today I will stay patient. Remember to listen more. Other mornings the thoughts were deeper. But something important happened during this practice. He began understanding his own mind. Writing turns vague feelings into clear ideas. And clear ideas create better decisions. Without reflection, many people live days on autopilot. They react, they rush, they repeat. Reflection gives life direction. Now his mornings felt different. They felt calm. He was not doing more tasks than before. He was simply beginning the day with awareness. But the most surprising change appeared a few weeks later. His days became more productive. Not because he forced himself to work harder. Because his mind was focused earlier. Distractions lost their strength. He noticed that when he started the morning with calm habits, the rest of the day followed that rhythm. Morning routines create momentum. Momentum is powerful. Think about pushing a large object. At first it feels heavy, but once it begins moving, the motion becomes easier. Your morning routine is the first push of the day. Another woman named Sophia had a completely different lifestyle. She had children, responsibilities, and very little quiet time. When she heard people talk about morning routines, she felt frustrated. That is impossible for me, she thought. But one day she tried a tiny experiment. She woke up 15 minutes earlier than usual. Just 15. Instead of rushing to the kitchen immediately, she sat with a cup of tea by the window. She watched the early light fill the sky. No phone, no noise. Just breathing. Those 15 minutes became her anchor. Even when the rest of the day became busy and unpredictable, she carried that calm feeling with her. This is the secret many people miss. A powerful morning routine does not need hours. Even 10 intentional minutes can change your mindset. The key is consistency. Small daily actions shape identity. If every morning you begin your day with calm, movement, and reflection, you slowly become someone who lives with intention. That identity influences every part of life. Another element of a life-changing morning routine is protecting your attention. Modern mornings are filled with digital noise. Notifications, news updates, social media feeds. These platforms are designed to capture attention instantly. But attention is your most valuable mental resource. If the first thing you give your attention to is chaos, your mind becomes chaotic. If the first thing you give your attention to is calm, your mind becomes calm. Imagine waking up and immediately reading stressful news. Your body reacts. Your mind begins thinking about problems outside your control. Now compare that with waking up and stepping outside into fresh air. Which morning prepares you better for the day ahead? Protecting your attention in the morning protects your mental energy. As Arjun continued his routine, he noticed something else. His confidence increased. Not because his life suddenly became perfect. Because he was keeping promises to himself. Every morning he showed up for his routine. That reliability builds self-trust. Self-trust is the foundation of discipline. When you trust yourself, goals feel achievable. Without self-trust, even small goals feel difficult. A morning routine is not just about productivity. It is about identity. It quietly tells your mind, I take care of my time. And over months, that message becomes belief. There will still be days when the routine feels difficult. Some mornings you will feel tired. Some mornings life will interrupt your plan. That is normal. The purpose of a routine is not perfection. It is return. If you miss a morning, you simply return the next day. No guilt, no drama. Consistency grows from patience. Imagine looking back at your life 1 year from now. Picture the difference between chaotic mornings and intentional mornings, repeated hundreds of times. Small daily rituals accumulate power. They shape habits, decisions, and emotional stability. Your morning routine becomes a quiet conversation with yourself. It says today matters. And when enough days matter, your life begins to transform. If you want to build a morning routine that changes your life, begin gently. Wake up slightly earlier. Create a few minutes of silence. Move your body. Reflect on your intentions. Protect your attention. Do not try to impress anyone. This routine is private. It is your personal space before the world enters. Over time, you will notice something beautiful. You no longer dread mornings. You begin looking forward to them. They become a moment of clarity before the noise of the day. And that clarity becomes your advantage. Your life does not change in one dramatic morning. It changes in hundreds of quiet ones. So tomorrow morning, when the alarm rings, pause for a moment. Take a slow breath. Remember that this moment is the beginning of your day, and also the beginning of your future. Choose how you want to begin. Then repeat that choice again and again. Because the way you start your morning quietly shapes the person you become. And the most powerful transformations often begin before the sun fully rises. If this message helped you reflect on your own mornings, take a moment today to design a small routine for tomorrow. Start simple, stay consistent, and allow your mornings to slowly guide your life in a better direction.